Okay, well, good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us for a great announcement for our community here today. I want to thank a few folks. I want to thank Principal Cowan for hosting us here. Where is our Mr. Principal? Thank you so much. Let's give him a round of applause. And there's great student leaders here in front of us. Thank you guys for helping us out as well. And I want to recognize Councilman Bill Hollander and Dan Johnson that are with us. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us here today. Well, we've come a long way with our whole tree project here. And when I became mayor, I said I wanted to make Louisville an even healthier city and an even more compassionate city. When we talk about health, we're certainly talking about physical and mental health, but we're also talking about environmental health as well. So compassion and health, those goals go hand in hand because it's compassion for our fellow citizens and our future citizens that lead us to work to make our city not just a healthier place, but certainly a more sustainable place. And health and sustainability go hand in hand with each other. And that's why we created the Sustain Louisville plan in 2013. I'm sure Maria Cutter is here somewhere with us with Sustain Louisville, right over here, waving to the crowd. Thank you. So one of the main focus areas of our Sustain Louisville plan is to increase our tree canopy to 45% coverage from where it is right now, 37%. And we do that one tree at a time. Charlie Marshall talked to you about that. Charlie's in the back. Charlie's with the SC Galt Company, and they responsible for all the trees on this campus right here. So, Charlie, thank you for helping us green our campus right here, one tree at a time. Good to see you. But then we also are bringing the strength of government agencies to it as well. So, metro agencies, including the Division of Community Forestry, Brightside, Metro Parks, and others are always working on more trees in the community, planting on city property or in the right-of-way wherever we can, especially in parts of the city where the tree canopy is the thinnest. And then we're also factoring in the importance of trees and the environment as we update our comprehensive plan right now. So the plan goes to 2040 for the community. So it requires not just, obviously, the work of the government, we're a small part of it, but the broad work of the community as well. So we've got terrific community partners in this effort. Groups like Trees Louisville, Louisville Grows, the Olmsted Conservancy, and businesses and neighborhoods all planting trees in our community all the time. And then, of course, we have many local nurseries providing ongoing support and supplying these plantings as well. So we got some big news today. Today, I'm really happy to announce that those nurseries should be preparing themselves to be getting even busier. Trees Louisville has secured $1 million to buy and plant trees throughout our city. This is by far the biggest gift that we've ever had as a city to advance our tree canopy. So this is a historic moment for Louisville. A huge gift and a huge investment in our community. And I say investment because economically we know that trees have all types of return. We all love the beauty of trees. We understand the quality of our air increases with trees. Our water runoff decreases as well. But when you think about the financial return as well, the shade that trees provide, it lowers energy costs. They're aesthetically pleasing, so trees increase property values as well, and they attract people to live in neighborhoods, they attract businesses to neighborhoods, just improve the overall quality of life. We know the environmental quality enhancement that I just spoke about as well. One area in particular that we're focusing on is decreasing the effect of our urban heat island. We've got one in our city. Almost every city has one as well, so we need to be strategic on where we put trees also. And then trees also help us provide a habitat for wildlife. And when you think about civic terms, when you talk to people about the various neighborhoods or when you visit various neighborhoods in our city, oftentimes the health of the tree canopy, the age of the trees, the types of trees are people that talk about that promote the beauty in our city. And boy, did we have a big assist on this over 100 years ago when Frederick Law Olmsted knew the value of trees when he designed our parks and our parkways as well. You cannot help but be proud as a Louisvillian when you're driving down Eastern Parkway, Algonquin Parkway, Southern Parkway, and just have the beautiful rows of trees as we go throughout our community. And I'll frequently stop and say, I thank those people 100 plus years ago that thought about that, and it's our job, obviously, to keep that going. So this gift, obviously, is a symbol of that appreciation. I think it's incumbent upon all of us to show a debt of gratitude for this contribution. And the best way we can do that is to match the donation by raising another $1 million. So that, I hope, will be inspired off of this contribution. And to talk about the next $1 million, I would like to ask Susan Berry of the Community Foundation to come up and explain how that fundraising will work. Please welcome Susan Berry.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be here at Gilmore Lane Elementary School. So in philanthropy, we like to say, you know, one of the greatest gifts you can make is to plant a tree under which you may never sit. And Red 7E did a wonderful job of bringing this to life with the advertising we have here. And truly with this campaign, each one of us can think about what could we give back. We were asking the kids, you know, how long it took for a huge tree over here to grow, and a couple of them said 6 years, 10 years, but no one thought, Cindy Sullivan from Trees Louisville set us all straight and said 40 years for a big tree over there to grow, and we were all amazed by that. I may not be here, probably won't be here 40 years from now, but these kids will be here 40 years from now. And I think one of the greatest acts of generosity is to think about what we might do for our next generation. So the mayor's right. We have a $1 million gift. We're established the Trees Louisville Fund at the Community Foundation, and the rest is really up to you. What we're looking to do is launch a campaign today. It's about planting trees, but it's also about raising money. This is a season where we're giving thanks and are grateful, a great time of giving here in Louisville. So I encourage everyone to go on our site, talk to Trees Louisville, and let's not take too long to get this to 2 million and perhaps even beyond, because it's the future of the kids you're looking at that really matters. I was in Smoketown a couple of weeks ago when we were asking kids what is it they want in their community. And you know, kids today, they have all sorts of ideas, but by and large, to a kid, they were saying, we want more trees in our neighborhood. We want more trees in our neighborhood. So let's get started. Let's make this happen. Thank you so much for this great contribution to the Trees Louisville Fund. People can give cash. They can make gifts of stock, even real estate, to the Community Foundation in order to make this happen. We're pleased to be a partner with the city and with Trees Louisville. I'd like to introduce sort of the brains behind all of this, Cindy Sullivan from Trees Louisville.
Thank you so much, Susan, and thank you, Mayor Fisher, for your support of trees and the support of your team. So let me start just for a second by acknowledging some of our board members that are here today. Henry Heiser and Katie Schneider and Alan Steinbach were diligently worked on the Louisville Metro Tree Advisory Commission, courtesy of the mayor's executive order, and they have been with Trees Louisville since its inception. And as mentioned, Charlie Marsh is in the back there, and Charlie Marsh has underwritten this entire tree planting project. And this is just the beginning. This is just the front of the school. We're also going to be doing the back next year, and maybe get some play equipment in here too. Some of us here last week attended the Arbor Day Foundation's Partners in Community Forestry Conference. Now, when you go to a conference like that with 600 like-minded individuals, okay, full disclosure, we're tree geeks. We were all there, and one of the things that you take away from a conference like that is that it takes creativity, and it takes partnerships, and it takes lots and lots of collaboration in order to have and maintain a healthy community forest. So I do want to mention a couple of our partners. I'm reiterating a couple of things that the mayor said. I want to thank Dr. Mike Razor. He's the COO of JCPS, and he has been an amazing partner in our JCP Campus Tree Enhancement Program. And his team, John DeMarsh is in the back and Larry in the back. If it weren't for those guys, we wouldn't have healthy trees on the campuses that we've already planted. So they've been absolutely wonderful. Maria Cutter has been an invaluable partner with the, as a Director of Sustainability. Susan Berry and all of her staff at the Community Foundation, the Institute of Healthy Air, Water, and Soil, and of course the University of Kentucky Department of Agriculture's Department of College of Agriculture's Department of Landscape Architecture. They've done a lot of the designs in the schools where we have been working. Great partnership. And I want to thank the entire agricultural industry. I mean, these are my brothers and sisters here. And the landscape contractors that we've been partnering with and working with to do these projects at our school. And Kevin Bowling with Bowling Nursery and Garden Center is here. He was responsible for making sure that all of these trees got in the ground. And of course, all of our volunteers. We would be lost without you. And this is a very exciting day, of course, for Trees Louisville because it's the launch of a public education campaign with a generous donation of creative services by Red 7E. Dan Barberchek, you are my hero. I'm sure that each one of these students down here can tell you exactly how important trees are for a community. But what we want to do is make sure that the adults realize that too. It's very important. We want to make sure that everybody fully understands that trees are an integral part of our community infrastructure. Trees are just as important, if not more so, than for a fully functioning, healthy community as our roads, our sewer system, and our clean water supply. So this $1 million contribution, my goodness, I love saying that. This $1 million contribution that we are celebrating today will allow us to forge new partnerships with more organizations to ensure that the public and private investment in increasing our community tree canopy is done strategically and it's done collaboratively, and it focuses first on those areas that are identified by Louisville Metro Scientific Studies as low canopy and urban hotspots. So we're going to continue to work with Louisville Metro agencies to provide a framework for supporting and coordinating existing tree planting efforts. We're going to work with businesses and corporations and foundations and private donors to raise the funds to match this $1 million challenge. And can I just say that I was just handed an envelope that says CE&S Foundation on it, and it's the first for our match. So how about that? Very nice. And the ultimate goal, of course, is to plant more trees. So it's incredibly important that we as a community value our trees, not just for the monetary value of the ecosystem services that the mayor mentioned, because they provide all that, but because of the intrinsic value of those trees. Do trees make you happy? Yeah. Whether we consciously acknowledge it or not, particularly as adults, trees make us feel good. Healthy trees create a healthy, happy place for us to live and learn and work and play. And I, like the mayor, believe that a healthy tree canopy creates more compassionate citizens. So thanks everybody for being here. Plant a tree today.
Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate your professionalism and enthusiasm that you bring to this every day as well. Now, we've had a tremendous partner with JCPS, as we've talked about, and they're some of the first recipients of a lot of the tree planting that's going on in the city. And Daniel Kemp, who's with JCPS's communication team, is going to share a few thoughts with us. Daniel?
Good morning. I am here on behalf of Dr. Mike Razor and Superintendent Dr. Donna Hargens, who couldn't be with us this morning. First, let me say just how excited we are to be at JCPS to be a part of this project. Trees Louisville and JCPS have already partnered to plant trees on 20 campuses, and the new trees you see around you today at Gilmore Lane are just the latest in a host of projects. In addition to beautifying our schools, the trees donated and planted by Trees Louisville are the focus of student education as lessons center around their roots, trunks, leaves, and branches. The Trees Louisville and JCPS Campus Tree Canopy Enhancement Program has a goal of reaching 10 to 15 new school campuses each year, and we have developed a program for ongoing maintenance of those trees. The plan for the care of these young trees is incorporated into our current maintenance program. We are grateful for the on-site staff and our community volunteers who are already working at the school level to ensure that the health of these trees, and we are excited about the JCPS app that will provide a visual representation of the trees indicating when they need watering or other care. So thank you again to Mayor Fisher and Trees Louisville for allowing us to grow and learn together as a community. Thank you.
Okay, any questions? Yes, sir.
Mayor, this is good news, but can you quantify exactly how many trees we're losing each year from your forests?
Yeah, we've got all that in our Sustain Louisville plan. Marie, you want to share those numbers with us?
Sure. So 54,000 trees a year is the documented number. That's based on the years from 2004 to 2012.
So we have to obviously not only catch up, but go ahead as well. Anything else? Yes, sir.
So how will this money be spent? How much of it will go to actually planting trees? How much of it will go to marketing? How much will go to overhead, that sort of thing?
Let's ask Trees Louisville on that. Cindy?
Well, the good news is that our overhead is already being covered by donations. So we hope that this entire $1 million will go to public education and trees mostly. Trees of all different shapes and sizes.
Any idea how many trees it might plant?
Well, as you well know, Jim, you can.
Yeah, small trees, big trees?
Yeah, big trees, small trees. I mean, it's going to take lots of ages and assemblages in order to be able to grow our canopy. So we'll be giving away small seedlings that are 18 inches, 2 feet, 24 inches. We'll be planting small potted trees to make it easy for volunteers to get trees in the ground. And we will continue to plant large trees like the ones that you see here today that really need to be professionally planted. That way, we're going to be growing our canopy in kind of a strategic way over the next 10 or 20 or so years.
Finally, if I could ask, the tree study that was done, I think it's estimated that it would cost about $1.7 billion to reach the ultimate goal here. So how do you put that in context with today's?
I think those numbers are pretty incomprehensible, and I mean, that's just me. So I think that, and those numbers basically were based on landscape-sized trees. So we're going to be doing not just landscape-sized trees, I mean the big 2-inch caliper trees like you're seeing here today. We're going to be doing lots of different sizes, and that's going to lower that bottom line number a bunch. So this is a very doable thing, and it's something that is really, really important for our community because, again, it's not for us with gray hair, it's for these guys so that we make sure that we have a healthy community in future generations.
And Jim, just the other thing, you're well aware, most of the tree planting is going to be done by private citizens on their private property as well. So this is just Trees Louisville making a big leadership statement as well. So I want to thank the Trees Louisville team as well here. We've progressed well over the 5-6 years of our administration and getting us to this point. Yes?
And so this $1 million is going to go to trees on both private land and public land. Is that accurate?
Well, this is just for public.
No. So the issue with our tree canopy is Louisville Metro can do a great job on the property that they have control over, and that's about 30% of the overall total land area in Jefferson County. The biggest way that we can make an impact is to plant that other 70% that's owned by private property owners. So that's why the public education component of this is so important. We've got to make sure that everybody knows that it's up to each individual to plant a tree. That's why we have this campaign. Instead of giving, for instance, a box with a bow on it for Christmas this year, what if you gave every family member a tree? Those are the things that are really important. It's up to each of us. So yes, we're definitely talking about planting on private land, but maybe not necessarily with these dollars. But we will be working with lots of individuals and lots of corporations to make sure that we are doing it mindfully, that we're planting these trees so that they are maintained properly, so that they do live the decades that they need to live to give us the ecosystem services.
So it'd be accurate to say that this money, the actual tree part of this money, is just going to trees that are going to be on public land. Yes, correct?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to now plant a tree. Where are we going to plant a tree?
Right back here.
Right back here. So would you all help us? Okay, let's grab a shovel and throw some dirt.
And you know what I'm gonna do? All right. All right. Now everybody look this way. Kids, you want to turn around real quick?